let's talk about what's happening on the platform formerly known as Twitter. So I don't know, probably most of the people who watch this show probably also have an X account. I don't know if you guys, how much you were on it today. I know you were on it like probably most of the morning.
Yeah.
Because you're always on it. But did you...
I do have a life. Come on.
Did you have any disruption? Because I did this morning, I was like, what is going on? And so trying to figure it out. And then I realized, it's actually just an outage all across the country. And it happened multiple times throughout the day. And apparently Elon Musk has now confirmed that there was and still is a massive cyber attack against X. He said, we get attacked every day, but this was done with a lot of resources. Either a large coordinated group and or a country is involved. Tracing, ... is what he said. So, what?
If they find out that this is Ukraine, there's going to be a lot of trouble.
Well, let's see. Because there is a group that's already taken responsibility for it. Now, whether or not that is the case remains to be seen.
A cheap media, it could
ploy.
be a cheap
just like,
ploy.
Yes, it was us. We did it. We did
have
it.
The capacity to hack.
We definitely did it. We're very powerful.
The people that are.
Queen Bee is about to tell you.
Yeah. You ready?
They're going to hack you as well. You know that, right?
No, they're not. I rebuke that.
Thank you.
Cut that off right
I rebuke that too.
Oh.
I'm gonna hack you.
You
hack them back.
Okay, so I want to show some of there were a couple like weird, random, coincidental things that happened over the weekend with Elon Musk and Tesla. So I want to go through that really quickly, and then I want to tell you who is at least taking responsibility for this, whether or not they are telling the truth here. So there were several Tesla dealerships over the weekend that there was like arson and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff happening. Here is some of that in Seattle.
Not another billionaire!
Yeah, down with those electric vehicles. I thought they were.
They loved him until they hated him.
They loved him 5 seconds ago because save the trees or something like that.
Which he still believes in, by the way.
Yeah.
That is still a tenet
He's still
of his.
planting chips in people's brains and doing a whole bunch of weird stuff.
And let's go after him because he wants to cut your waste of your dollars.
Oh,
you absolute morons.
So there's the arson.
Yeah.
There's the, so they're putting out.
Cybertruck on fire.
I'll tell you this, a lot of people right now are going to be, I'm very, very angry at this.
Mm-hmm.
Like very, and this, again, it's a massive attack on us. That's what it is.
For sure.
And they got to be very careful. I know that's what they want, but they got to be very, very careful.
So it was not just in Seattle, but days before that, you had a Tesla dealership in Oregon that was shot at, damaged by gunfire, and had shattered glass at the dealership. So listen, could this all be coincidental, all happening at the same time? I mean, I guess technically it could, but no. Not really. So you see all of what's happening today, and then you see a group called Dark Storm Team. They call themselves Dark Storm Hackers. And they said on Telegram that they were behind the shutdown of X multiple times today. And if you dig into some of their history and what they've been about with their hacking expertise, I guess you would say, which like, guys, get a real job, okay? But please don't hack me. You find a bunch of geopolitical motives and also pro-Hamas history. So, but then it's like, would a group that nobody has heard of really be capable without the help of insiders or another country's government? I personally have a hard time believing that.
Look, when Elon, is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
When Elon tells you coordinated, it's coordinated. It's not happenstance. This is not coincidence. It's coordinated. Just like the BLM riots were coordinated. It is coordinated, but when he tells you with a lot of resources, he knows how much resource you actually have to put in to pull this off and shut something like this down. So no, it's not some fly-by-night group. No matter how, I know a lot of very, very ultra intelligent guys who used to work for the Department of Defense and government, where in that system, they can take things down on their own. They don't have the resources. They've got the intellectual capital, but you need physical resources. So no, some loner group, no matter how talented they are, they're not doing this. Not at this level, nationwide, right? They're funded. And so you got to go find out who's funding them. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a foreign government.
Yeah.
That's funding
I
them.
mean,
our own.
yeah.
In the deep, the deep state.
They would
like Cash Patel is finding out. Excuse me, maybe the director of the FBI doesn't have full autonomy to run the FBI. They undermine him, and the CIA, and all the secretaries are finding out because. And sorry, Matthew, but
it's okay.
The idea that the president is in, and you just clean house, and all of a sudden it's just bye everybody in. We've replaced the top structure, secretaries, deputy secretaries, but there's people burrowed in. From Obama, still,
which you would think that like now would be their last gasp, right? Like,
yes, but they're going to undermine. They're
Yes.
going to undermine.
Yes, this is Custer's last stand. They realize that their time is almost up, and so they are going to get loudest probably before they realize, before they finally get found out, because they realize they're going to get rooted out eventually. So why not make the most of their time, their limited time that they do have here? So let's consider that it could be a foreign government. Okay, let's also consider, my opinion, that it could be our own or actors within our own government, because when you couple this with the fact that last week Elon said that the Act Blue, which I would say, like we all now know, is just a Democrat money laundering site. It's supposed to be a fundraising site. There have been multiple exposés that have been done on them where they're like, they go to these people's houses and they're like, did you donate $18,000 in the last 3 years to Act Blue to Democrats? And they're like, no. I might have donated 5, not 18,000. So we know this about Act Blue, and Elon confirmed that there was an investigation that found that 5 Act Blue funded groups were responsible for some of these Tesla protests, including Troublemakers. That's the name of their.
Do you know what? All right, guys, let's meet. We're going to come up with a name, a super secret name for a bunch of people that are going to cause a lot of trouble.
Oh, I know. Troublemakers.
That's great. Nobody will ever figure it out.
So, Troublemakers, Disruption Project, Rise and Resist, Indivisible Project, and Democratic Socialists of America. You got to wonder what the people that call themselves Indivisible Project were thinking, because they're doing nothing but being divisive. So that seems a little counterintuitive.
Maybe they all walk together, like really close, like this, and they're like, we're indivisible.
You can't split us apart.
You can't split us apart, ever.
So it's just interesting to me that you have this Democrat money laundering website.
There was an Austin Powers moment there just for a minute, just for a second. There was a whole lot going on there. Okay?
They're funding the protests. Is it too far of a stretch to say that they could be funding this hack as well? I don't think so.
Here's the thing. The first thing we've got to understand about this, which is a positive, is that they're on the ropes, right? Because this is desperation.
Mm-hmm.
And look, we said this before. We said it on this show. They just started with the USAID. They're going now, the guys, Doge is in the Pentagon, right? They're going for the DOD. They're going through systematically through every single element that they need to discover waste, fraud, and abuse in, right? Mm. And the guys that Elon has got here, these are not, I said it before, these are badass dudes. Like, these are super, super genius, but hardcore dudes as well, right? So there's a little bit of a war going on here, all right? What we are seeing, again, which is a positive, is everything is being drawn out into the light, right? Like, they are like bugs, like screaming, like, ah, this is how bad it was. Yeah. Like, everyone in America should look and go, goodness me, like anything about the last election, it's easy. This is how deep it is. Mm-hmm. It's so deep. If they're collaborating with foreign governments, that's a bad thing. By the way, we've pissed off Europe, all right? So don't put it past them to want to do something as well. There are so many elements right now, but what it is doing, I believe, is we are really at a tipping point in American history, right? And that is, what side are you on, right? You're either on America's side or everybody else's. And it's becoming very, very simple.
All right, so we have information from Elon Musk about who may have been behind this hacking situation on X. Watch.
We're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Well,
I said it.
So that's your suspicion. Is the
said
website,
it.
is the
I said
internet
it.
up? Is it up yet?
It's
I
up.
said
It's
it.
up yet. Okay, good.
Funded by.
I'm just saying.
Funded by who? Because Ukraine at the moment can't run nothing.
Well, that's the thing. Funded by who?
Funded by the USA, baby.
Us.
Yeah.
Us.
He was just here, 10 days ago,
Well, what
begging
about
for money.
Europe,
They're
though?
out of money, though.
What about Europe?
Maybe Europe too, but we've already put 200 billion in there.
See, I want my wife to know that I'm always right.
Oh, wait, you're crossing the line, buddy. Back it up 1 inch. Just go to the line.
No, let me just say this.
to the
Sarah's
line.
laughing like, ha ha, my husband Stephen thinks he is too. See,
No,
that's
he
the
doesn't.
reaction of a wife. No, he does. Stephen knows. We know, don't we, Stephen?
Maybe she's going to hurt me. No.
Okay.
Stop, Stephen. That's how
Stephen,
rumors
how
get
often does
started.
she hurt you? Tell now. Now.
It's okay. We're all here.
Here's what we do. I know what will make her cry. We take those golden sneakers from her.
No.
We pawn them off for
Those
4 cents
took like
outside
a year
the
to get here.
Yeah, he paid for them. Don't do that.
That was the last payment. He's like, don't hurt me. I'll buy you shoes. I'm just saying.
Okay, so what happens now? Because this does
it's-
feel like it got really deep statey really fast.
He's going to be, Zelensky is going to be gone.
Well, you saw before he went home, right? They rose up against him. They called for
Yep.
impeachment.
Yep.
Before he was just missing the lunch. He was still driving, and they already called for impeachment.
Wasn't that so funny?
that was
They're
wild.
like,
The
oh,
lunch
they
was
left his
ready.
lunch in the White House. I guess the staffers will be eating it.
I mean, no, but you know that again. Yes, the IP addresses originate, he says, in the Ukraine, but it's not.
You can't prove that it's the Ukraine with the way that people can mask their IP
But
addresses.
you know, there's
but-
American dollars behind that. There's European dollars behind that. Heck, there may be, who knows, Chinese money behind it. They're going to do everything they can.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to take any little morsel, any crumb they can to try and undermine what is currently happening.
They don't want America first.
No, I said before, right? We said you have to make a choice now. It's really, really simple.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty simple.
It's America or everybody else.
I know what I'm choosing.
America!